Okay, so CSA3 now is what we're getting ready to take. You've already done 4 because that was the paper. Dun, dun, dun. So this is your last CSA of the year, and it goes clear back to industrialization. Okay. So there is a lot to review here. A lot to review here. Hey, Kat, we're just starting the review. Perfect timing. Okay. So if you were to think back to industrialization, can you remember some of the results of industrialization, some of the good and the bad things that happened? Jacob?
People were able to produce more goods that everybody was able to afford some stuff.
So there's more goods, there's affordable goods.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Pollution.
Pollution. Icky. Grayson?
Transportation.
What about transportation? People had feet before the Industrial Revolution.
They started using trains and boats more often to transport goods between areas.
So we had trains. We had boats, but specifically they built and...
But the canals.
There you go. So steam power. Oops, steam. You know what? I can erase that very easily. Steam. Boats. We had canals. Okay. What else do we know? Isaiah? Lots and lots and lots of jobs.
We like jobs.
We like jobs.
We always talk about how we need more jobs.
But I'm questioning. We have all these jobs. You're forgetting something about the people relative to those jobs. Grayson?
They all start to congregate in cities.
The people move to cities. In order to take the jobs. What? Standard of living goes up. Why am I putting that in green? Because the money's green. Well, ours is. Theirs wasn't. But what else, Dalton?
Women got to work.
Women did get to work. Where do they tend to work? Yeah, mostly in factories. Lots of sickness. Any recollection as to what diseases?
Smallpox.
Smallpox, flu. One in particular that spread very easily when people live close together. Affects the lungs. Tuberculosis, often known as TB.
At least they didn't get big counts out.
Population increase.
Yes, the population did jump because there was plenty of food. Okay? When people went to the cities, what was it like there? And the living conditions were... What else do we know?
The powerful businessmen rose.
In fact, wasn't there a new type of business that emerged out of the Industrial Revolution? Stock is part of it, because if you own stock, you own part of this kind
Corporation.
of business. Corporations emerge. Okay. Anything else?
England became more powerful because they're the first country to do it.
England is first. And what industry was first?
Textiles.
Jacob, I think you were right on top of this whole chapter here. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How many of you are a little bit surprised you remember so much of this from so long ago? Good. But it's kind of right there for you, isn't it? You know why? Because you actually learned it and didn't cram it. If you crammed it, none of this would seem familiar, right? You're like, wow, I didn't remember I had that shirt that you pulled out from under the bed with 3 years of dust
Oh
bunnies
yeah,
on it.
you gave us this cramming metaphor
Uh-huh.
at the beginning of the year.
All right. Anything else about industrialization? I'm going to check my notes and make sure.
Didn't it start England occupying India?
Well, England was already in India because the age of exploration had long since passed. They're already there. It does change their relationship with their colonies somewhat, but that's very England specific. So we'll. Okay, now looking at this list of things that you've created, you've all got it written down, right? What if you had to say some of these were short term? They happened right away and then kind of, and some of them were long term. It took a long time to change these, or we're still feeling the effects.
I would say the rise of standard living is long term, but the dropping of standard of living was short term.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. All right. So we're going to take and we're going to do yellow is going to be long term.
I don't have it.
And, well, you can put an S and an L or something beside them,
Okay.
right?
That makes sense.
And we're going to say blue will be short term. Okay? For those of you playing the home version, you could just do this beside them. Right? Okay? All right. So, more goods, short or long?
Long.
Definitely. We still are producing more goods.
A lot.
Affordable goods. Yeah, our goods are still more affordable because we're industrialized. Can you imagine if you were sitting at home sewing your own clothes still? Yeah, you wouldn't have 18 different T-shirts and 3 pairs of sneakers. Right. Pollution. We're still dealing with pollution from industrialization. But what do you know about that?
We can deal with it.
Yeah, it's gotten better. I mean, our buildings aren't coated black in coal soot and stuff now. So, what if we said that that one was both short and long? Right? It was really bad. It hasn't gone away, but it's at least better. Right? And you could explain that if you had to, right? Why it ended up in both.
I still think we should launch the pollution in space.
All right. Transportation system.
Long. We're still up at the bad. That's the reason why we need to live where we live.
Yeah, without the transportation innovations that came out of the Industrial Revolution, where would we all be living?
On farms.
Well, that would be without the Industrial Revolution at all. But without the transportation things, we would be living right downtown in a tenement, right? We wouldn't be able to get so far out. Even without cars, we'd still be riding a streetcar or a trolley or something out here. Okay, so you said long? of these, which ones are really still prevalent? Totally.
Canals.
Not so much with the steamboats, huh?
But we
still, other than the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal, and those are kind of a different kind of canal, right? We don't transport stuff via canals within countries and states and stuff anymore, right? I mean, the Erie Canal doesn't even really move stuff anymore. Yep. Easier to throw it on a jet, pollute the earth that way. Because I got to have my stuff from Amazon in 2 days. I really need those socks with the duckies on them.
Or they'll just start putting them on a small remote control plane.
Oh, yeah. Put them on a drone.
Put them on a drone. Get them in a day.
All right.
That would be awesome.
You've already started.
I want to.
Well, I
do that.
want.
There we go.
you
All
guys
right.
can use it.
Do we have more jobs as a result of industrialization today?
Yes.
Yes.
We do?
Yeah.
Do people still move to cities for industrialization today?
Yeah. Yes, but no.
World.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. You happen to already live in a fully industrialized nation. But if you lived in India or in Nigeria
Or Philippines.
or in the Philippines and you wanted a job in a factory in China, you would leave the farm and go to the city. Standard of living still better?
Yeah.
Again, think about this in terms of the world. Your standard of living is doggone high.
No. It's the same.
Comparatively, it's doggone high. To the rest of the world, way high. If you are in China and you are a peasant on the farm, how is your standard of living compared to a Chinese worker in the factory?
High. On farms,
If we're talking about standard of living just in terms of money in your pocket, quality of housing and stuff, it's higher. It is higher. It may not be as nice of a life, but if we're just putting it in monetary and quality of housing terms, it's better. Women working in factories. Do we still do that today? Yeah. About the only place in the world where there would be industrialization where women don't work in the factories would be Muslim nations that are run by a strong theocracy. Like if there are countries where women aren't even allowed to drive cars or leave the home without a man, they're probably also not clocking in at the factory, right? Diseases. Smallpox, flu, TB, widespread cholera outbreaks.
We got antibiotics now, and we have.
We're going to go short term on that because industrialization also gave us something that somebody in this class wrote about for their paper. Inoculations, vaccinations. Right? In the places where we are able to get out there and inoculate people, these aren't problems. Except for the places where there are diseases that we don't have inoculations for, like Ebola. All right, population still going up? Oh, yeah. Are cities still crowded? Are living conditions still poopy?
No.
Depends on where you are, but by and large, Detroit. Okay, yes. Where what do you say? Short or long? Because it depends, right? It depends. I'll give you that. Businessmen become powerful.
Get rich and wonderful.
Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, who the Google guys. Oh yeah.
YouTube guys.
EA games.
It's corporations still around?
Yes.
And England being the first to industrialize in the textile industry is very much short term. Well, Shorter than England would have liked it, right? Because that guy who snuck out brought stuff over here, and then somebody who snuck out and took it to Belgium. Right? Okay. Bell is about to ring on us. That's a pretty good start. Study this tonight because we've got a lot more to go over. And you don't want to have to be studying it all tomorrow night.
So, you want your pen back?
Yes, please.